My name's Lachlan Simpson. I'm representing Nook Business Solutions, and we're going to present to you for the next 10 minutes some of the new cutting-edge technologies in the sales area and how they might be incorporated into your business, PaperPro. As is well known by you, you are one of the market leaders in the paper industry with a great market share and a really wide range of products, contributing to obviously a very wide range of market segments. There is a lot of opportunity for improvement in the areas of technology. For instance, we see a great scope for you to enhance your customer relationship management software, to incorporate the current email system that you've got, as well as your production system. You do have a web page, and we do think there's a lot of opportunity for you to build upon that, as well as expanding into the areas of social networking and other online networking sources. So let's move forward. We considered three main technologies as potential areas for you to move into. The first one was video conferencing. The second one was optimizing your web presence. And the third one was getting into some customer relationship management software.
We've got Lachlan, who's going to give us a brief introduction to the world of video conferencing. So Lachlan, can you tell us a bit about this?
Yeah, thank you very much, Josh. Video conferencing is a tool that can be so underrated by organizations and sales forces of any variety. The positives are just off the charts. The affordability, the accessibility, the ease with which you can incorporate it, and the reduction in travel costs are all positive outcomes that have no relative negatives.
Could you give a bit of a brief explanation as to how it works?
So video conferencing has progressed to an extent where it is very, very simple software. You don't have to spend copious amounts of money in installing high-tech video conferencing studios or using technology to that extent. Your sales reps can use apps on their smartphones and contact their clients from anywhere, on the go, at night, whatever the hours, wherever they are. As long as they've got internet connectivity, they can contact their clients. And the same goes for a client. You can operate from your laptop, you can operate from a PC. So it really opens up a lot of gateways between PaperPro and their clients. The other thing is how affordable it is.
Can you explain how this could kind of progress PaperPro's business?
Yeah, most definitely. See, from our research, PaperPro conducts its business operations very locally at the moment. What this will allow PaperPro to do is really broaden the horizons of its target market and audience. When you can contact someone on the other side of the world at the touch of a button, it pretty much gives limitless possibilities as to who PaperPro can be conducting its business with. And the other most important factor is the cost reduction in travel expenses. You don't have to buy the airfares to go over and meet with these clients. You can meet with them at any assigned time with the click of a button.
That sounds really, really efficient for PaperPro to use.
Oh, it definitely is, Josh.
Definitely. So I guess that's another reason why modern technology could really help PaperPro improve their personal selling.
I'm joined here by my colleague Josh, who also works at Nook Business Solutions. Josh, what were some of the considerations that you took into account when looking at developing the web presence of PaperPro?
Yeah, look, there were a couple of things that we really brainstormed. One of them being we really wanted to adapt a website inquiries section.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Can you tell, for the benefit of PaperPro, a little bit more about what that might entail?
Essentially what we want to do is by adding a website inquiry section, that will really help your customers save time and get their specific questions answered. Because when they inquire online, then your sales department will be able to swiftly respond to their answers appropriately and effectively.
So we're looking at a really advanced customer relationship management progression here.
Definitely.
So another thing that we've noticed is how prominent social media is in the current market. Can you tell us a little bit about what we've planned to introduce for Paper Pro from that perspective?
A lot more businesses are going to the social media side of things to really create that customer relationship management. One way in particular, one website we would really love for you guys to invest in would be LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a fantastic website for customers to really find potential prospects, because it's a very professional, business orientated website. So it's great for B2B relationships, and also it will really help you guys build your network and relationships, not just in Australia, but throughout the world.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. Anything else that you were looking into from a web presence perspective?
One other social media site that we would love for you guys to start using would be a website called Yammer. It's a private social media website which would really allow Paper Pro to collaborate between divisions, locations, and also between individuals within the organization. So it'll really allow you guys to collaborate your work and really your client base, so everyone would really know and understand what part of the transaction each client is up to, and really understand what your client's needs are.
So would it be correct to say that it's more of an advanced communication system that opens up communication channels regardless of where the staff are?
Definitely. It will allow you guys to be able to do collaborate from home. You won't need to be all in the office. Obviously, being an online system, it will help you guys really be able to work from where you are. So say if a manager is away, they can still collaborate their work with the other employees.
Well, thank you very much for that, Josh. That was very enlightening. So let's move on to the next technology now.
Can you give us like a brief description of CRM systems which you're quite familiar with?
CRM software is something that's progressing very quickly in the current market. There's a lot of players in the market, and it's getting both cheaper and more advanced. It's something that a lot of clients are beginning to adapt in small to medium enterprises, and any enterprises of a large kind are really falling behind if they don't already have it. It's a data management software system that features prominently in capturing data that's already captured by the organization, capturing new data, and the main purpose is presenting that data in ways that can actually be useful to the organization.
Awesome. Well, look, can you give us a bit of a example of how this could help Paper Pro?
Yeah, definitely. So CRM software is a comprehensive database management system. What it does is it'll capture a lot of client-related data. It breaks it down into market segments. It can break it down into geographical segments. It can break it down by sales reps. And what it'll do is it'll track demand for certain products. I know that Paper Pro has a very diverse range of products and range of clients. And what it can do is it can track the demand for certain products against certain market segments, for instance. Another thing is it tracks the performance of the personal selling by sales representatives. It's a really good way to keep on top of who's pulling the line, who deserves incentives, and where you can build on already strong areas and maybe work on some weak areas as well.
Well, that's a great introduction to how CRM systems and software works, and I really think that's something that we could definitely consider for Paper Pro in the future.
Having looked at some of the technologies that we intend to implement at your organisation, Paper Pro, let's have a look at some of the timeframes associated with its implementation. So obviously, depending on the contract and whether it's signed by Paper Pro, that will be our beginning point. From there, we'll move into company observation. We'll have some of our representatives immerse themselves into Paper Pro to get a bit of an understanding of its operations, its strengths, its weaknesses, and therefore understand what technologies are most appropriate to Paper Pro. Moving on from there, we're going to develop and select the most appropriate technology, and then we can move into the road testing, see if there's any glitches or errors in the system, see how compatible it is with Paper Pro. Move on from there. We offer training on our behalf as consulting firm, and just to ensure that your staff understand how to use the new technology. From there, the technology implementation will begin in earnest. Use of it in daily operations will be pretty well complete by then, and we can move on to follow-ups in terms of checking how well it has integrated with the technology in weeks, months, and maybe even a year on. We'll follow up with you to see if there are any other areas in terms of progress and change that you'd like to have a look into, and hopefully the relationship can be maintained and contact continue. Thank you for taking the time to view our presentation as to what we at Nook Business Solutions can offer to you, Paper Pro. We hope that you can see the same value in our services as we know we can provide.